Hello, and welcome back to the 7th installment of Reconciling Zero as we go in search of effective Zen. In the last episode, we posed the question, what is spirituality? Recall that as part of our quest to answer the question, is this Zen mountain? We loosely identified Zen as a spiritual activity. And in the previous two episodes, we investigated the true nature of activity. If you haven't done so, I recommend listening to episodes 5 and 6. And in these previous episodes, we introduced two essential terms, zero activity and manifested activity. Recall that we defined zero activity as the confluence of conditions that naturally give rise to manifested activity. And we defined manifested activity as the activity arising from zero activity comprising two fundamental activities, plus and minus or expand and contract, which eventually and inevitably cancel each other, resulting in the return to zero activity. And so, in addressing spirituality, we must now develop appropriate definitions for zero spirituality and manifested spirituality. Let's start with the notion of manifested spirituality, or more simply, spirituality. We may say that spirituality is the set of activities intended in the pursuit of the highest good. And here, we now realize that we have a few more terms to reconcile. First, the notion of a set of activities. Let's recognize that there is not just one manifestation of spirituality. In a sense, each quest and each religion has a preferred activity which should be seen as spiritual. And it is this collection of activities that interests us. Second, the term intended implies that there is no such thing as accidental spirituality. Third, the term pursuit indicates that one has not arrived but is still on the path. We should recognize that spirituality ends, that is, returns to zero, when either one moves to a new activity, gives up on the quest, or attains the goal. As a side note, we can clearly see the plus and minus activities at work here. The plus activity representing the motivation to continue with this activity, and the minus activity representing all those forces working against it. Last, we have this term, the highest good. In a nutshell, we can define the highest good as that activity done for its own sake. A bit cryptic, but having profound implications. We will take up the idea of the highest good in the next episode. For now, let's move to the notion of zero spirituality, namely the confluence of conditions that give rise to the pursuit of the highest good. Here we can identify three such conditions. First, we need a clear picture of the highest good. Second, we need a clear path to the attainment of the highest good. And last, we need a sufficient understanding and motivation to overcome the inevitable hurdles typically encountered while on the path to the highest good. And so it looks like everything is hinging on this notion of the highest good. Definitely deserving some thought. So for the next episode, the question, what do we mean by the highest good? And until next week, cheers.